Hello everyone, Scholar for Truth with you once again, back with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about something that I find quite frequently being discussed within society, on college campuses, within casual modern-day dialogue and discussion. And that is concerning the issue of tolerance. What exactly is tolerance? What does it mean to be tolerant? We hear this a lot within society, that we should be tolerant of others, or that we shouldn't impose certain ideological systems of thought upon people, or we shouldn't criticize certain ideas and concepts because they are relative to the individual. So we should not question certain concepts and ideas. What exactly does tolerance actually mean? Well, in a sense, it means to put up with something, to sort of allow something, and despite you not liking it, you still sort of allow that said thing to occur. Now, the problem a lot with society's definition of what tolerance is that we never really truly live up to that concept. Tolerance has its limitations. People say that we shouldn't make certain value judgments. That, take for example, if someone tells you that you should not judge another culture, okay, say for example, you're an American and you're judging another culture, and someone comes along and tells you you shouldn't judge that culture. Well, in the sense, that person who says you should not judge another culture or judge another person, by definition, is self-refuting their position because they're judging you because you're criticizing something. And that is a problem with tolerance. We don't live up to the full expectation of tolerance. Okay? Tolerance has its limitations. We certainly in society, we do not tolerate murderers. We do not tolerate rapists. We do not tolerate child abusers. We do not tolerate liars. We do not tolerate thieves. We do not tolerate these things because they are morally reprehensible. And so, when people make claims that we should be tolerant, tolerance has its limitations. Can you be tolerant of a person? Yes. But does that necessitate that we have to be tolerant through someone's actions? Most certainly not. And a lot of times, this is even thrown back at Christians. Said Christians even. A famous biblical passage that a lot of people use to say that Christians should not judge other people is found in the Gospel of Matthew, where it says, "Judge not, the least ye be judged." And this particular text has always seemed to be used by certain individuals, groups, or people that say we're not allowed to judge. Well, I have two problems with this statement. Number one, the person that says you should not, the person that quotes, "Judge not the least you be judged," that person itself who's saying that statement is in fact judging. When someone tells you you should not judge others, if that person is in fact judging by judging you by not judging others. Okay, there's a logical contradiction here. That's the first problem, is the fact that they tell you not to judge, but themselves they are judging. Second point, the context of Matthew speaks of judging a righteous judgment. Make sure that your judgment is consistent. Make sure that your judgment is based upon evidence. Make sure your judgment is honest. Because wrongful judging, according to what the passage actually says, if you judge in a wrong way, and not even in an honest way, the consequences of that will be heaped upon you. It says, judge not the least ye be judged, for whatever measure ye judge will also be given to you. You see. So, when the Bible speaks about making judgments, it's not saying that we should not judge. It's that our judgments should be fair, logical, honest, and consistent. And so, it is interesting that you live in a society where people tell you to be tolerant of certain ideas and concepts, but they themselves don't logically follow through. Because as I have said just a second ago, tolerance has its limitations. No society can function without proper moral judgments. And so the concept of tolerance is quite ambiguous. For someone to say we have to be tolerant, well then, by definition, in a sense, if you're not defining it properly and being consistent, you would say we would have to be tolerant of everything. And no one in their right mind and rational thinking would ever go so far as to tolerate everything. There are certain things we will not tolerate, despite the fact that we say be tolerant of this said thing. And so this is the problem with modern society, about making value judgments. And yet we make them all the time, which shows how logically inconsistent that we are. And it's also interesting, too, for those that say that we must be tolerant whenever a disagreement is espoused or is placated. People will jump on you at the drop of a hat for a mere disagreement. But if you are to be tolerant, then you should tolerate that I be allowed to express my view despite the fact that you may not like it. Just because you don't like something does not mean that someone does not have the right to express it. But while expressing it, there should be a limitation to that expression. And it should be exposed for its inconsistencies if in fact it has it. So the next time someone tells you to be tolerant of others because you're being intolerant, point out the fact that they themselves are being intolerant for the sake of tolerance, and therefore to say they are tolerant but acting intolerant shows that they are not tolerant at all, or that tolerance has its limitations. Thus, the concept of tolerance for the sake of political correctness, let's say, is a self-refuting idea. And so I just wanted to talk about that a bit, because we see it all the time within our society and with our culture. And this idea of tolerance in a sense of political correctness is just logically inconsistent, because if that is true, we would never be able to make value judgments or logical, rational decisions without stretching it to some point of limitation. So I wanted to talk about that and sort of discuss it, because it's always talked about in the public square, and it's going on today. And a lot of people have this misconception of what tolerance would be. And so I hope everyone enjoyed this video and it's been informative to you on this issue, because there's a lot of misunderstanding. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Look forward to more videos coming up very shortly. And you all have a nice evening, nice day, wherever you are. Peace out.